Tonight's story is yet another Mr. Medal story. Now we're going to tell a story called...
What's the last Mr. Medal story?
I can't remember what it was about now on the spur of the moment. Let's start at the very first one. Mr. Medal's Morning. Mr. Medal was a pixie who couldn't mind his own business. He was forever poking his long nose into other people's houses and meddling with whatever they were doing. One day, he felt more meddlesome than usual, so he ran round to Dame Gladsome's house. She was very busy that morning, but as soon as she saw Mr. Medal's nose round the door, she flew to shut it.
Why?
Because she didn't want Mr. Medal meddling in her business. Mr. Medal frowned and went to Old Man Twinkle, who was on top of a ladder beside his big bookcase, turning out all his old books and dusting them. "I'd like to help you," said Medal, putting his head in at the window. He gave Old Man Twinkle such a fright that he fell off his ladder and bounced on the table, sending his books up into the air. So Mr. Medal poked his nose to the window and asked to help, which was very nice, but unfortunately it caused Mr. Twinkle to fall off his ladder, dropping all his books. I don't think he was very pleased about that, do you?
That's Mr. Twinkle.
That's Mr. Twinkle falling off his ladder, and that's Mr. Medal looking in the window. Mr. Medal decided not to wait and see what Old Man Twinkle said. Good idea, because I expect Old Man Twinkle would shout at him. He ran off and came to a neat little house on top of the hill. It belonged to Mother Hayhoe. He knocked. Mr. Medal didn't know her very well. He knocked on her door. Mother Hayhoe opened the door. She had a handkerchief tied round her head and a duster in her hand.
Mercy.
"Good morning," said Medal politely. "Is there anything I can do for you? I happened to be passing, and as I had nothing much to do today, I wondered if I could be of any help to you." "Oh, how nice of you," said Mother Hayhoe, who didn't know what a nuisance Mr. Medal could be. "Well, I badly want some butter and some eggs. Could you fetch some for me?" Mr. Medal was off like a shot. He went to the dairy, got the butter and eggs, and ran back with them. Mother Hayhoe opened the door. Medal rushed in. That means he went in very fast. But unfortunately he didn't notice that Madam Hayhoe had just polished the floor, which means it was slippery.
Slippery.
So he's going to slip, isn't he? He didn't notice that Madam Hayhoe had just polished the floor, so it was slippery. He slid on a mat, turned head over heels, and the bag of eggs went flying to the ceiling and came down with a smack on Mother Hayhoe's head. And what do you think happened to the eggs when they hit her head? They broke. Mother Hayhoe was not at all pleased. Medal put the butter carefully down on a chair and rubbed his bruises.
Can I see?
In a second. "Anyway, the butter's not broken, like the eggs," he said. "Don't be silly," said Mother Hayhoe, trying to get the eggs out of her hair. "Butter doesn't break, but if it did, you'd have broken it. Now I have to wash my hair."
Can I just hold it, please?
Why does Mother Hayhoe have to wash her hair?
Because they found the hair.
Because what?
Because they found the hair.
What's in her hair?
The
all the eggs that Mr. Medal dropped.
All the eggs.
In the basket there. Okay, not on the floor.
I am recording, if you don't mind. So, what's in her hair?
Eggs.
Okay, and who dropped the eggs?
Mr. Meadow. Is that Mr. Meadow?
It is. He's not very careful, is he? He keeps meddling in other people's business, and he's such a nuisance that he's always doing things wrong, like dropping the eggs on people's heads, as happened here.
Oh, he can't run in means.
So Mrs. Medal now says she has to wash her hair. I'll help you, said Medal eagerly. He fetched a bowl for Mother Hey-Ho and filled it full of water. Get me some more hot water, said Mother Hey-Ho, and she began to wash her hair. Get me some more hot water, she said. There's some in the kettle. Put it in a jug and pour it over my hair. Medal emptied the water into a jug. Then he thought it would be very helpful if he poured the water over Mother Hey-Ho's hair himself. So he tilted the jug up and poured. Woo, ow, woo, woo, yelled Mother Hey-Ho, jumping up to the ceiling in fright. It's boiling hot, you silly fellow. I'm cooked, I'm cooked. Medal was horrified. He looked at Mother Hey-Ho jumping around the kitchen, holding her hot head. He ran to the tap and drew some cold water. He threw it over Mother Hey-Ho's hair. Oh, it's ice cold, shouted Mother Hey-Ho. Stop it, leave me alone. Medal tried to put the jug on the table and just missed it. Crash! It fell on the floor and broke into little pieces. Oh, my best milk jug! Oh, my best milk jug! Said Mother Hey-Ho in despair. Sorry, said Medal. I'll get some glue and mend it. He ran to the store cupboard and found a little bottle of glue. Then he went back to mend the milk jug. He put the glue on the table and picked up the milk jug bits. But just as he was pressing them together, his hand slipped and he knocked the glue bottle off the table. The glue poured out onto the chair, the table, and the floor. Oh, what a mess. Mother Hey-Ho was busy drying her hair and didn't see what had happened. Medal picked up the glue bottle, but he couldn't pick up the glue.
Why?
Because it stuck to the floor or the table or the chair. The next thing that happened, of course, was that Medal stepped straight into the sticky glue. His shoes stuck to the floor, and when he tried to get away, his feet slipped out of his shoes, and there he was, dancing about in his socks. You've just knocked the telephone off the table because you weren't getting out of bed when you were told not to. Back in bed now. The next thing that happened, of course, was that Medal stepped straight into the sticky glue. His shoes stuck to the floor, and when he tried to get away, his feet slipped out of his shoes, and there he was, dancing around in his socks.
Why?
Because his shoes are stuck to the floor, he can't move them because of the glue. Mother Hey-Ho put her towel at that moment, put her towel down, and she saw Medal rushing around in his bare feet. She was not astonished. Why have you taken your shoes and socks off? She asked. Do you think you're going to bed or something? Mother Hey-Ho put her towel down on the gluey table and glared at Medal. She was getting tired of him. When she tried to pick up the towel, she couldn't. It had stuck She pulled it in surprise. Let me help, said Mr. Meddle at once, and he gave an enormous tug at the towel. It came up, and so did the table. Meddle sat down hurriedly on the floor, and the table fell on top of him. And a corner it went onto Mother Hay-Ho's toe. How she yelled! She danced round the kitchen on one leg, holding her toe, whilst Meddle pushed away the table and tried to get up.
But why?
The gluey towel had got round his neck and he couldn't get it off. Oh, you wicked fellow, cried Madam Hay-Ho. Look at all this mess and the muddle you've made. Look at all the damage you've done. Now, don't you dare do another thing. Sit down and don't dare to move. She's very cross with Mr. Meddle because he made a mess everywhere. Mother Hay-Ho looked so fierce that Mr. Meddle thought he had better do as he was told. So he sat down, squish, on a chair. But Mother Hay-Ho only yelled at him even more. Oh, you bad fellow, you silly pixie, now you've gone and sat on my butter. Get up, get up. You're sitting on my butter, I tell you. You've broken my eggs, and messed my hair, and nearly cooked my head, and broken my milk jug, and got glue over everything, and hurt my toe, and now you must sit in my butter. What else can I do? What else will you do? I'd like to know. Please stop. Mr. Meddle was so frightened. He got up out of the butter and tried to go to the door in his bare feet. He could see Dame Gladsome and Old Man Twinkle going by outside. I can see two friends of mine, he said to Mother Hay-Ho. I must go. Well, I'll help you go, said Mother Hay-Ho fiercely, and she caught up her big broom. Swish, swish, she swept poor Meddle right off his feet, and he shot down the garden path and through the gate in a fearful hurry.
Is that him?
Yes, it is.
Is that him?
It is.
Is that who's that?
Mr. Meddle.
I want to see him. I want to see how this he again.
Well, I've nearly finished the story. I think maybe we just finish the story and then you can have a look. Okay, I'll give you the book. Let me finish the story, then you look. My goodness, it's Mr. Meddle again, said Dame Gladstone. Is this the way you usually come out of a house, my dear Meddle? Don't think it's been swept out of the house with her broom. She swept the poor Meddle right off his feet, and he shot down the garden path and through a gate in a fearful hurry. He landed just under Old Man Twinkle's feet and gave him a fright. My goodness, Mr. Meddle again, said Dame Gladstone. Is this the way you usually come out of a house, my dear Meddle? It seems very seldom. Mr. Meddle didn't answer. He rushed home in his bare feet and got into a hot bath to get rid of all the glue. But it won't be long before he meddles again with someone else. He simply can't help it. The end.